Hi, I'm Greg Barnes, and I'm the costume designer for the current revival of Follies playing at the Marquis Theater. Well, you know, it's daunting and thrilling, and it's intimidating because the original production was so incredibly designed, and I think it holds such a special place in people's hearts. So you're coming up against this legendary vision. The show operates on at least 2 time frames, but actually many more than that. The party, the reunion, where these old performers have been called back, it takes place in 1971, and each of them come to the party with their own history, and they put on a sash that has the year that they were in the Follies, and those sashes, those years date from 1918 until 1941. So you get to play with the character's history, and they each have a ghost that inhabits this theater. So we see these ghosts / memories that also date from 1918 until the late 30s or early 40s. So there's lots of puzzle work that has to happen. These are the costume sketches, and they are done, obviously they're just information really for the shop, the director, the producer, the actor. So they're useful for a lot of different purposes, and it helps me answer a million questions. You know, sometimes if you do it, it doesn't have to be approached in such a laborious manner, and you can do a much more simple sketch, but the more questions that you've answered in your own head, and you get into the shop, and especially in a case like this where we were in 16 different places, it helps me just say, what did I do in the sketch? And then I can make a judgment from that. In the story of Follies, in the second act, there is a sort of surreal overtaking of the story where the 4 main characters are thrust into Follies, and you meet these showgirls that, there's 6 of them, and they each have a little lyric that talks about how love is, you know, if the lovers are separated, they will swoon and die. So this garment here is one of those Loveland showgirls. So it has a heart theme, and the shapes of these Loveland showgirls do pay homage to the original production. They were incredible. So this is the headpiece that goes with this, and we actually had, this was made by Rodney Gordon. There were many shops involved in working on Follies, and because there's so much beading in the show, we had a lot of it done in India. So we had to draw out all these shapes, draw out all the embroidery patterns. Well, you know, I'm sure they're not the most comfortable thing to wear. We haven't had any tragic, you know, nobody's gone down yet. This dress is the dress that Bernadette Peters wears in the Follies. I said, you know, there's something about being in an absolutely austere dress where it's just your face. It focuses your face in a special way. And so we kind of went down a different road. We made the dress quite dark. People, I think it's black. It's actually very dark purple. And we talked about legendary movie stars. I told her about a dress that Adrian, the film designer, had designed for Greta Garbo, which was her favorite dress. And she wore it in the film, and then she wore it many times to parties, and it has this beautifully beaded collar. So the idea of this collar sort of comes from that, and so I love that about this dress. It's a simple dress, truthfully, but it helps, I think, her in the moment, and also it sort of tells a story of its own. This is Elaine Paige's costume. This actually changed between the performances that we did in Washington and then when we moved to New York. We made it sleeker, and we put these fur, it's hard to tell on the hanger, but this is very open. It sits, it sort of goes along with that thing about just finding your face, featuring your face. And actually Bobby Goldman, who is, has credit on the book, she had told me when we were in Washington, if I needed anything to drop by, she loves to have a piece of her in the show. She had this incredible necklace in her collection of stuff. It's just a circlet, it's like a collar of diamonds, great big diamonds, not real ones. It's a real piece of great costume jewelry. So we kind of actually based the dress in a funny way, the new take on the dress, around this necklace. Somewhere along the line I really sort of understood that I was doing what I was put on this earth to do, which is, I don't think everybody can say that. In the moment, you don't really watch the play. You're so concerned with your part of it. And then I find months later, when I actually become a true audience member, that I enjoy it on a different level, and I feel like a proud parent.